feeling very deceived. Maybe it's because there's a breeze in the air. It's supposed to be 80 degrees today. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I'm going for a walk anyway. Ooh, my neighbor has a mutt. Hello, mutt. I don't know how much of a walk this is gonna be. I mean, I just worked 5 days. I know how much more my feet can handle. Okay, I'm going, I know what I'm gonna do. All of my therapy walks thus far have all been about going that way. So I'm gonna cross the freeway. I'm gonna head up to Monterey, and then I'm gonna cross the freeway. It's probably gonna be a bad idea because I think it's all uphill, everything, because there's like the elevation of the land on the other side of the freeway is a lot more higher than it is over here. So every road that crosses the freeway is just up, 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 and up. Oh, what a day though. It feels good to at least know that I don't have to go to work. If I get completely exhausted in the next 10 minutes, I can just turn my swanky little booty around and head on home. Carpet cleaner? That's what I'm getting from that. So anyway, as I walk along, making my way over to the Monterey, not going through the tunnel. No, so me and my girlfriend, big makeup enthusiast, which I support entirely. And she likes to watch a lot of, you know, the beauty gurus on YouTube. Not the ones that suck and get into trouble all the time. But at least for the time being, the perceivably least problematic of the bunch. And anyway, so, you know, we stumble onto these channels of these just really sad, you can just tell they're just dead inside, but they really don't want to believe it. Or they're either dead inside or they just don't like anything. Hey, check out this font. This is like my therapy walk font. I guess that makes sense because that's the font I was using, was essentially like graffiti font. Anyway, so we found a new one. You know, there's these people, like, they have makeup channels, but pretty much their whole channel is just them hating on all these, like, new releases and stuff. It's like, it's the whole channel is like, they're all about makeup, but all they do is talk about how much they hate makeup. It's like, if I did my channel, but all I did was I went to, like, places around here that I hate, and just bitched about it the whole time, and then at the end of every video, I was just like, don't come here, this place sucks. Does that really make a lot of sense? I don't know. Like, it might be fun if I have the time to create, like, the, like, alternative anti-Steve the Amateur Historian. I can call it, like, Steve the Amateur Asshole or something. And it's just me going to places that I don't want to go to in the first place, and then bitching the whole time about how I hate exploring this place. And then at the end, I'm just like and subscribe. But I'm just like a very sad person. Again, dead inside. Anyway, it's, yeah. It's, like, if you got a channel where you're talking about all the stuff you hate, but you're talking about, like, Nazis, like, okay, I can get behind that. But when you're really into a certain thing, but all you do is talk about how much you hate that thing, but, like, you're into it, like, you're wearing makeup, but you're talking about how much you hate makeup. You just don't, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Anyway, my plan, because ultimately I'm gonna end up wrapping back down here and getting food for me and my girlfriend, because this is like the one day out of probably every like 10 to 12 days where we're both off work, and there's actually like a 6-hour period that we're home and awake at the same time. Our schedules are so out of sync right now. Pretty much the last 2 weeks, my girlfriend's been working like 4 a.m. to noon, and I've been working like 2 p.m. to 11. So she gets home at like 12:45 p.m. and then I leave at 1 for work. And by the time I get home, you know, at 11:30 or whatever, she's already been in bed for several hours because she has to wake up in a couple hours to go to work. All right, so no tunnel, wrapping around, and then I'm climbing up there. And just gonna explore around a bit. Like, I've driven along this road. It's Bob Schumacher Way or road that rides right above the freeway. But aside from that, I really haven't seen anything up there. And the sun is burning high in the sky. I made sure to clot myself with sunscreen, so hopefully I don't torch myself. Ooh, yeah, I'm feeling the heat already. It's probably only about 75, 76 degrees, but it's been really cold the past, well, really cold, like it's been like 50 to 60 degrees. So, yeah, I'm already feeling nice and hot. But anyway, here we go. We're crossing the freeway. This is a new red letter moment for me and amateur historians everywhere. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it sounds dramatic. Okay, so, whoa, hey, B. Okay, so I can cross here, go a little bit up the road here, and Causey Way, which actually goes right by my apartment, on the other side of the freeway, resumes. Right up here. Oh, it is. I'm also up higher, so there's like no protection from the breeze up here. So yeah, I'm just gonna see what this area has to offer, and just kind of walk, wrap about, and I guess chit chat about whatever comes to mind. And I'm actually remembering there was an elementary school right up in here, because I remember Sunnyside, which is a ways back there, we would go over and then we'd go up a road that was over here to the school that was kind of over here. So I wonder if that school's still around. That's where I had when I played in the Clackamas Youth Basketball League as a 6th grader. We had our practices up here. We played a couple games here. I had my career high in the last game of the season. 22 points. I mean, that was my career high. Hello, I call career high like I had a professional career. But anyway, yeah, I haven't thought about that in forever. And I'm just remembering that it was up over here. Gotta check my, oh, this is nice though. I'm getting a lot of shade out of the gate. Shade is the difference between living and dying for a lot of Portlanders when it starts pushing up to 80. We're real bitches about warm temperatures up here. Oh, duh. I just looked up schools in the area. It's Mount Scott Elementary School, which now I'm remembering, like, oh yeah, that was the name of the school. And it's right along Causey, so I'm going up Causey. I'm not gonna get too close to the school because it's a Wednesday, and as far as I know, school is back in session. So I don't want to be the guy that's just filming an elementary school full of kids from across the street. Even if my motives were 100% benign, people look out the window and see a guy with his hair in a ponytail, scruffy facial hair, taking video. I'd be calling the cops too. But at least I'll do a walk by. Yeah. Yeah. There it is, right up there on the hill, Mount Scott Elementary, where I used to have my basketball practices. And this is, so see, that would have been the spring of 1998. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this school since then. So here I am, passing by this place some 23 years later. My God, I'm so old. Should have known. It'd be a lot of deceptively uphill climbing. It's all hills up here. I mean, the further this way you go. It's hills, that's all there is. I'm not ready for that. So I don't want to do too much today because I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? That thing I was thinking about doing today, I'm not doing it because I'm exhausted. Yeah, it's a big elementary school. I mean, look at the size of this. It looks almost like an apartment complex, but it ain't. It's just kind of a, I don't know, I remember going in there and I was like, this is an elementary school? This is nice in here. Just a very polished look to it. Now granted, the elementary school I went to was built in 1924. They actually demolished the building last summer and I wanted to go and get video of it for my channel. Get last video of this building that was almost 100 years old before they demoed it. And then COVID happened and it's like, okay, we can't have people over here. And I would have at least tried to get video of the demolition itself, but I was living so far away at the time, I just couldn't get there. And I honestly, they started demoing earlier and I thought they would. I just was like, living my life, and then I look on Facebook, it's like, oh, my elementary school's already half gone. Well, by the time I organize a way to get out there to see what's left, it's gonna be gone. But yeah, Mount Scott Elementary School. Okay. You're just not gonna let me cross, old man with a bunch of shit in your car. And you're not gonna let me cross either, frat boy looking ugly fuck. I'm sorry, I'm really am into Happy Valley now, like the real Happy Valley. I got a Happy Valley address, but I'm actually in the Happy Valley city limits, where everything gets a lot more expensive. And I mean, inevitably when things get more expensive, you get more shitty people. Like people that won't let you cross the street. So I'm gonna go up here. There's a roundabout somewhere up there. I'm gonna use that to turn, wrap back around, and just kind of meander my way through some stuff. So I just paused briefly right here to send a text, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm one of, I mean, look at me, just all shaggy. I wonder if I'm one of those kind of guys that like people see in this neighborhood and they're like, why is this guy just loitering? It's like, I'm texting, bitch. Well, this is pretty. It's like a little mini nature spot. I'm assuming this is connected to this apartment complex. I don't think this is just like a park because it goes right in. I think it's just them being like, look at how bougie we are. We have a bark dust trail and a bridge leading into our apartment. What do you think, you're better than me? Yeah. There's nothing that says like I can't go down here, but it leads right into this complex, so it's kind of like, Probably be like, who's this? Granted, that's a big complex. They wouldn't know whether I lived there or not. I wonder what's going on up in here. It looks like there's like an open space up in there. I wonder if that's where people go to have their rituals. You know, in the more ritzy neighborhoods, they got some weird stuff going on. When the lights go out, when the sun goes down, there's weird stuff going on in these ritzy areas. Skull and bones type stuff. Or I guess skull and crossbones. Sorry, I don't know my underground creeper organization jargon that well. It's all these signs for people, but I've only lived in Clackamas County. Hey, I went to school with a Brandon Simonson in Clackamas County. I wonder if there's a relation there. Man, I haven't seen that guy since 3rd grade. We were in 1st grade. Randomly in 2nd grade, we became like best friends. And then after 2nd grade, he moved to, I think, Vancouver or something. And I have no idea what happened to him. Still climbing. Still climbing. I'm still like in between video clips. My girlfriend's still watching one of these like makeup hate YouTubers who apparently is hating on various forms of home decor and whatnot. And you know, it's classic to see people getting on their high horse about how, you know, everybody goes on and on about how great they are at handling criticism. And a lot of people, when the time comes, can't deal and snap. I'm not fantastic at handling criticism. I still think sometimes I get a little too worked up over stupid little things that I really shouldn't let bother me. But I am actively, you know, especially as a YouTuber, when I see those idiotic comments, you know, I try to become a better person, a better me, and just not let them bother me. Because most of the time, like probably about 95% of like, not even critical comments, just people being dicks, being like, your channel sucks, oh my god, people actually watch you. I got a comment from someone, and literally the whole comment, and it was in response to one of my like rare vinyl videos, which I've done a few of. They don't make up anywhere near a significant amount of my, sorry, it's just a lot of hill climbing, so now I'm winded and trying to talk. And they commented like, people actually give you money? And I'm like, yeah, how many videos of mine have you watched? Just this one? And you're passing full 100% judgment on my content? So a lot of comments are just, ooh, bougie. Got the golf course over here. You got like golf, and apparently weddings can be done here. Bougie. Anyway, so like, again, 95% of just douchey comments are from people that like pretty much have a YouTube, they at least have a profile, and they've never uploaded any content. And I understand if you do something dumb and someone calls you out for it, that's valid, but I put a lot less stock into somebody's comment about the quality of my YouTube content when they've never even created a single video. You click on their profile and it's like, this channel has no content. I'm like, wow, shocker, that's always the case. But yeah, no, in the past, you know, 10, 12, 15 years ago, any form of criticism, even if it was absolutely trying to be helpful, I would have gotten directly defensive with the person, like, well, you don't know anything. But I would have, like, to myself, I would have been like, can't handle judgment. And you have to realize I was also an only child who was real quiet all through school, and so I was not used to being criticized, judged, confronted. So, you know, moments of criticism or judgment set my way were incredibly rare. And when you have like limited experience dealing with that, a lot of times you don't know how to handle it. And so I used to get real defensive about anybody that remotely criticized me. And, you know, I feel like there's three forms of criticism that I usually get. There's the douchebags who are like, this sucks, your channel's crap, that I just don't pay attention to. And then there's the like, hey, like, I see what you were trying to do with this video, or like, hey, you said this in the video, but actually this was true, you know, like slight little, and most of the time, those are just people trying to be helpful. So, you know, again, in the past, comments like that would have pissed me off, but now I'm like, oh, okay, like, I know no matter how they word it, they're just trying to be helpful, or they're throwing in their 2 cents, which, I mean, it's why there's a YouTube comment section. I know a lot of people use it to abuse people, but it's really there so that, you know, exchanges can be given. And then there's the like, there's just the genuinely helpful things that, I mean, they're technically criticism because they're adding something to what you're doing, but they're only coming from a place of total positivity, where like, if I do a video about something, they'll add something else, like, oh, like, you discussed this thing, like, did you know that this also happened? And a lot of times I'm like, oh no, I didn't know that, that's awesome. Or, you know, people will like, you know, like, I'll do a video about something, they'll be like, oh, do something about this because it's closely related to whatever the video is. So, you know, most of the, quote, criticism I get is usually people trying to be helpful or just making suggestions. And then, periodically, you get the assholes. Ooh, Eagles Loft condominiums. That is bougie. I want to live in an apartment complex with a big eagle at the front. Man, it probably costs like $2,500 for like a 1-bedroom at this place. I probably, what's condominiums? Condominiums in this area, I doubt 1-bedroom ones even exist. What am I talking about? Like, look at this. This is very darling. And they have these Airy Crescent Road, because, you know, these are all like, a lot of development has happened out here in the last like 30, 40 years. Happy Valley used to be pretty sparse. So they have a lot of these newer roads, and they have these just ridiculous names. What's interesting is I'm actually back on Monterey now, because Monterey ends once I cross the freeway, and then a couple blocks over it restarts. So I'm technically back on Monterey, the same road that passes Clackamas Town Center, just it ends for a few blocks. So it really is, everything really is coming full circle. And it's nice to have these trees. There's a delicate breeze. I think this is Mount Talbot off in the distance. Me and my buddy Nick, it was like the last like real, it wasn't really an exploration. I mean, it was, I guess we were exploring Mount Talbot, but it was like the last video we really did together. Unless we went kayaking after that, I don't really remember. But yeah, not long after I moved in with him in Gladstone, we explored Mount Talbot. So that video's, you know, it's buried. But I have a playlist. And that playlist is specifically Travels with Nick episodes. That's what I called the videos of me and him going out and exploring. And there's actually a couple things that we did that I've recut and we'll be reposting, because all that stuff I did with Nick is way back at the beginning of this channel. So if you just like watch me regularly or subscribe, but you haven't really dug back into like my 2017, 2018 content, like you won't know those videos are there. And I'm actually going to recut a few things that aren't up on my YouTube and make them Patreon content. A few videos that me and him did. Look, I mean, that is, I want that in front of my apartment. How could you not want that? I feel like a badass. I could be the laziest son of a bitch in the world, but if I got that at the front entrance to my apartment, you know I'm gonna demand respect from people. But yeah, so there's gonna be at least like 2 things of me and Nick that I'm gonna turn into Patreon. I'm discovering suddenly, oh my god, I have a lot of stuff to put on my Patreon, or that I can put on my Patreon. That's a subtle hint, wink wink. Go become a Patreon supporter today. Links in the description. I love how I'm saying that like 20 minutes into this video. Forgot to say it at the start, because I'm just trying to therapy walk, you know, just trying to live my life. Get off my case. Oh man, somebody plowed this little baby sign over. Somebody plowed it over. It wasn't me. I wasn't here. I don't even know this area. This is my first time walking down the street. Great Oak Drive. That's the name of that street. It's a little bit more normal, but yeah, a lot of these newer streets that pop up in these, you know, neighborhoods that have been developed in the last couple decades, they have these just ridiculous, you know, Eternal Beauty Drive. I don't know if that exists, but they all kind of have that connotation. They're just these ridiculous, like, just because you live on a road with a distinct name doesn't make you a distinct person. Just like if you give your child a very distinct name, it doesn't mean they're gonna like change the world. Sorry to burst your bubble there, but I've known lots of people with very distinct names that haven't even done remotely as much in life as I have. And I'm just a Steve. High Creek Drive. That's okay, because there probably actually is. I'm assuming there's a high creek around here. I kind of want to, oh, it's a dead end. Yeah, it just kind of ends. I was like, ooh, what if I can get to a creek down there, but I don't think so. Ooh, I'm entering Eagle Landing. So wait, is this a walking trail, or does this just like lead to, I don't know. Can I get a better perspective? Walking, I still feel like I'm gonna get sunburned today. I feel so dry all of a sudden. I'm guessing that just leads into the apartments over here. They just give them a lot of nature to go through because they have a lot of money, so they deserve nature more than other people. You know how it is, America. Ooh, tweeters. Little field. Oh yeah, and this is the other side of the, I forgot, yeah, the golf course kind of goes through here. This poor tree didn't stand a chance. So yeah, that path probably just leads into the, that miscellaneous whatnot. Now I'm wondering, what is over this ridge? There's like no cars coming down the street at all. I haven't seen a car. Oh no, and then a car starts coming. I just want to go to this side. I'm just curious what's over here, because I already know it's just golf course crap over here. And like, I'm cool with golf, but like, oh, that is beautiful, people. Do you see what I'm seeing? I mean, I'm taking a still. That is Instagram worthy. That is Instagram beauty. I love it. See, this stuff not too far from where I live. It's gorgeous. If you don't think this is gorgeous, you can get the hell out of here. You can unsubscribe right now, because you're bringing down the class of my channel by just being associated with it. Got some more downed branches. Wouldn't surprise me if these are leftovers from the snowstorm that just left branches everywhere. But this is gold. This is gold and goals right here. I'm assuming this is maybe just, I mean, somebody probably owns this, but maybe this is just like grassland property. They're just kind of letting the world, like, there's buildings on the other side of it, but it's just this little piece of beautiful, beautiful earth. Just there for your perusal. Make you feel like you're out in the wilderness for a quick moment until you turn this way and it's like, oh, golf courses and homes. Older fella making his way up the hill. Got more strength than I do. I got mortgages and homes. I got stiffness in my bones. What Queen song is that? That's a Queen song, but I don't remember what it is. What is this? Get out of my face, bitch. Okay, that looks like a path, which is always enticing, but probably doesn't go anywhere, and I just get real solid vibes that this is somebody's private thing. And I don't know. I know a lot of people say it's better to try and then beg for forgiveness later, but when you've already been to court one time for trespassing, and now you have a lot more fiscal responsibilities, and you don't want a second trespassing on your record, even though if somebody did see me there, they probably just run me off. I'm not taking the risk right now, so I apologize. The amateur historian's gonna be a bit of a bitch about this, but with logic, because I'm really interested in seeing where that leads. I mean, I know it can't lead that far. Okay, and after that little brush with beauty over here, we're starting to get back into some commercial crap. But I'm not going to film that because I see that every damn day of my life. Yeah, see, like, there's these. Like, what do these lead to? They might just lead to these buildings over here. They can't lead too far. Americana. I don't really know if this is Americana. It's just that's what it came. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. There's a cemetery over here as well. You know, butted up against the new apartments and, you know, the golf course, because that makes a lot of sense. I'm assuming the cemetery was here before this other stuff. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is a more recently established cemetery. But yeah, it's always nice when you've got the apartments butted up right against your cemetery. But yeah, you can see. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not even sure what this cemetery is called. What type of cemetery is it? Probably had to lead a fairly bougie lifestyle to get in here. I don't know. But yeah, I did notice when I kind of just checked my map app real quick that there was a cemetery in the general area. And so here it is. For your perusal, I guess. And I think I'm wrapping down. There's another roundabout here. And I think if I go this way, it'll take me somewhere. Then I'll probably just have to wrap around again. And then you go this way, you start getting towards more like commercial businesses, eateries. There's a Kaiser Permanente over there. And yeah, it's where I went, and I don't even know if it's still there, but there was like a little place that I went to in one of the strip malls over here where I got my physical for, I think, like freshman and sophomore year track. I went and got my physical there. And that there's a story in and of itself, now that I think about it. So actually, I think when I get up here, I'm gonna go this way, because it'll go towards where I got my physical. And I know I got it there 2 years in a row, because I remember having two different people. But see, the thing is I didn't really understand what a physical was. You know, I'd never had one, and here I am, I'm like 14. It's like, you gotta have a physical. So I'm like, okay, you know, they gotta make sure you're healthy enough to do sports. They'll like poke your muscles. They'll like, you know, shine a light in your eyes, make sure that you can, you know, you can move with them. It'd be just general checkup stuff. Oh, man. Man, forget that bird hanging out at the front of that apartment complex. This is the bird that I want in front of my apartment. Look at this unit. Nobody's coming, right? Okay. Look at this absolute unit. This is the kind of stuff that I live for. Caw-caw! That is a bad bitch right there. I'll tell you what. Actually, I'm seeing there's like a little bit more of like the cemetery over here. But trust me, bird, you were noted and respected. I'll get back to my physical story in a second. I don't know why I'm saying it to you like you're part of the conversation. Anyway, I'm just curious. There's more cemetery stuff. Oh, thank you. She stops for me, and then the moment I start going, she decides to start going again. Put your phone down and walk. I'm like, man, get out of my face. I just want to see this real quick. So there's more cemetery stuff here. So it stretches across the street. So I'm wondering if like that's like this special cemetery that you can't go to, but this one like, because it says cemetery hours from dusk until dawn. Does that mean I can go in here? I guess so. If somebody asks, I'm just gonna be like, I have relatives here. And there's nobody here. At least not in this vicinity. Dawn till dusk. Well, it's between those hours. Oh, I thought I could go around. Nope. Remember to always be respectful when you're in a cemetery. Don't be stepping on people's gravestones. Don't be making a bunch of noise. This is a place of respect. It's like the mausoleum video. First video I ever posted, in my most successful video. It's my mausoleum video, the one that's in Selwood. And people bitched and griped because we were speaking softly. And it's like, first of all, we were listening for ghosts, if I'm gonna be honest. And also, we were trying to be respectable. You don't walk around a mausoleum, you know, a place like that, and yodel and yell and make all kinds of freaking loud noises. And apparently a lot of people watching that video are just deaf. Ooh, what's up there? Because like, you can fully understand what we're saying. Wow, this is a very impressive setup. I mean, I want to be cremated when I die, but I mean, if I had to take a burial, I'd gladly take a place like this. This looks like probably a recent burial, so I'll steer clear of that, or they're just digging something. I don't know. I'm noticing a lot of, this is awesome, a lot of Asian influence stuff and a lot of people with Asian names. And I actually think, I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to act like I'm in the know, but I want to say Happy Valley has a really large, like, I don't know specifically what countries, but like as far as people from Asia, I want to say they have a pretty strong history in this area. That's awesome. And then you've got this. That's I was gonna say crazy, but I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah, a lot of the people, and you know, just in passing through, a lot of these people I noticed are of Asian ancestry. You can kind of walk through here, you know, because it's a place of, you know, it's supposed to be a place of peace and quiet and reflection, and a place where when loved ones are obviously long gone, you can still come and visit them. Marjorie Louise Copeland. She looks like a 40s actress. I'm not just saying that because she would have been like in her 20s in the 40s. I'm just saying that picture. Yeah. Pretty nice. There's one guy walking over here. It's a much larger influx of... Oh, and I think this is tied to this church, which I noticed is... Again, I've only seen it a few times. I don't know exactly what the nationality is, but I know that this is, like, it's a big church. This is one of the main reasons Monterey doesn't go straight through, is that this is a church, and it's an Asian church. I know that, so that actually makes sense. Now, there are, you know, like this guy's last name was Ustinov, George. Like, there's obviously a mix of different races, but I'm wondering if, because it seems like this runs right into the church there, so maybe there's a, you know, a connection. Yeah, this is real serenity now. So is this like some kind of, I thought maybe this would be like a war memorial. I saw like the flags. This is I like this. So it's almost, this kind of reminds me of going to the grotto. This is like a mini grotto, because you've got, well, it's like the grotto cemetery, because you've got these like particular spaces that are like really beautiful and serene, that aren't necessarily just Sunnyside Little Chapel of the Chimes. That rolls off the tongue. Yeah, you've got this over here. This almost looks like it might be a bell tower. I don't think it is. It might be a bell tower over here. Yeah, garden memorial. Oh, so there's actually, I mean, I don't know if this means people were buried here, but there's at least like markers indicating people. At first I thought maybe that means this is like where children have been buried, but no, these are all these markers indicate that these people, most of these people at least, lived long lives. So I think probably just for, if you want it for a loved one, you can get them their own little spot in this memorial garden. That's what I'm assuming. Oh man, look at this guy, just hanging out. I wonder, because this path goes up here, so I'm wondering if I can walk out this way. I just wanted to, the moment I saw, oh, I can actually pass through here, it's like, oh, well, can't pass up that opportunity. Nick's bench. I gotta call my friend Nick. You got a bench. What is this squirrel doing? This squirrel's getting nuts with this bush. It's like he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's just like, oh, he's on his back, like it's like a dog rolling on carpet. I'll let him be. He looks like he's having a good time, and I'm a man, so I'll just scare him. Yeah, you can't walk out this way. Sunnyside Little Chapel of the Chimes. Okay. Yeah, and then there's just all this on the other side, and I'm wondering if this is more like private. I mean, there's well, that guy's in a real nice suit also. I mean, it looks like you can just walk in here, but you know what? If you can, I'm saving that for another day. This is more than enough. More than enough cemetery for a fellow like me. So anyway, all that said, I was going to talk to you about my first physical. A nice retransition back into what I was kind of getting ready to discuss earlier, about how I didn't really know what physicals were. I thought they were just general checkups, which, I mean, in essence they are, but just I was not prepared for everything that they were going to do. So mind you, I'm 14. I'm just a run-of-the-mill doofus teenager. And I go in, and I have this guy you know, come in. He's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Just gonna give you a physical today. I doubt he talked like that. I don't know where I got that voice from. General doctor voice. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. So, you know, it's like a physical. They're like, okay, do this. I'm gonna look at this now. I'm gonna do this. Lift your limbs. Can you move, you know, put your hand on top of mine, push down to make sure you have strength. And you know, that you get into like your little hospital gown. And then, again, because I didn't know all the details about these things that they call physicals, you know, I didn't know everything they were going to do. So, the time came in this fun little caper for them to check me for a hernia. Now, any dude who's had a physical and has been checked for a hernia, you know what they do. They put their fingers like a millimeter from your junk, as it were. So I'm standing there, I'm, you know, 14, I'm a teenager, I'm like, oh, what? And this guy, and I'm trying to be cool about it, but I'm like, okay, why is this guy got his fingers right next to my stuff? Like, I'm thinking, like, is something weird happening? Is this normal? I actually had to ask my parents when I was done. Why didn't you tell me he was gonna put his fingers right next to my junk? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's not like my dad had a, you know, a physical anytime recently during that time. And I just remember, like, I made that a running thing for the rest of the day. Like, I remember annoying my parents. I was like, I was vandalized. You let me get vandalized. Like, I was doing it jokingly, but I was also like, I was not ready for that. Oh, we got some borderline urbex over here. Anyway, that was my first physical, and it happened right up here. What have we got here? Like, this was something. The area event, like, this had to be something. Like, look at this. This had to be something. This is like an old driveway. This is like an old parking lot. Like, this was something. Maybe there was buildings here at one time. But this is kind of what it looks like in the parking lot, certain parts of the parking lot up on Kelly Butte, because it's a parking lot that hasn't been used in like 30 years. And it just, yeah, it's obvious something used to be here. I don't know what. I feel like if I keep walking that way, I'm venturing into maybe I'm trespassing territory again. But yeah, there used to be something here. Because this is definitely like an old parking lot, or like some kind of old support for something that obviously nature has been slowly reclaiming for probably the past couple decades at least, I would guess. Anyway, brief urbex. Now back to the road. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that eagle in the distance, guiding me to worlds unknown. Okay, anyway, so when I get up to this intersection up here, I'm gonna turn, and that's gonna put me back on Bob Schumacher Road where I was earlier when I turned to go up. So it's come full circle, and then I can get back to Monterey, and I can go get my girlfriend and me some food, because that was always the end game with this. Because again, if it's that one day out of 12 that we're actually gonna be like home, and man, this guy's truck is jacked. But yeah, you know, this is the one day out of 12 that we're actually gonna be home and awake for more than like 5 hours together. It's probably gonna be a day that we go get food and have a little celebration of our equal homeness. And then we'll watch something, and then she'll go to sleep in like 3 hours. Yeah, and so this is where all these businesses start popping out. And yeah, there's a Kaiser Permanente, there's medical stuff. There's a building a little ways over there. That's where I got my physical at, where I was vandalized. And then I went back there for my sophomore year to get a physical for track again. But at least I was prepared that time. I knew it was coming. All right, yeah, so this is just gonna go pew and take me right back to Monterey. And then Taco Bell, where I'm going, is right straight down Monterey. That's also the only reason I brought my bag with me. You're probably wondering, why are you bringing your bag with you? It's to hold the Taco Bell, so I'm not just like lumbering along with a bag in my hand. And yeah, it's interesting. This is a newer Taco Bell. It's right by the mall. But like when I went there to get food, I got food at like 5 p.m. on a weekday. Like it wasn't exactly dead, like getting food hours. Nobody else came in the whole time I was there. It was amazing. It was a beautiful COVID-less experience. Of course, being an introvert, with or without COVID, I like going into a place where I'm going to have to buy something and there's nobody else in there except, you know, the people that work there. That's my idea of a good time. Yeah, so you can see the theater sign popping up. The mall is right over this lip is the freeway, and then the mall's on the other side. So now you kind of have a general idea of where I am. I'm just east of all that stuff that usually surrounds me, that I call home. Home. Yeah, the one there's Monterey right there, crossing the freeway. So you see, it really has come full circle, or full, like, deformed oval, like a messed up egg. It's more of a full messed up oval than probably a circle. But hey, I got to see some stuff I haven't seen before. I didn't know there was a cemetery right on the other side of this church. I mean, I checked, obviously today I knew, because I looked at my map app. I was like, oh, there's a cemetery around here. And then I just, you know, passed it by chance. But before today, I did not know. So it's always nice when you can make at least one new discovery in life each day, even if it's something small. It's something new, something, you know. And I mean, have you watched my content? I live for finding new things and discovering details about things that I didn't know about. I know more about this area in the last year. You know, the whole Portland area. I found out more history, more background stuff on it in the past year than probably I knew in the first 30 years of my life growing up around here. So that's what I like. Ooh, somebody had a hot and ready. I mean, I'm assuming. Most people that go to Little Caesars are getting the hot and ready, and I don't blame them. The hot and ready is I mean, it's just delicious. The cheese feels like hardening glue. The pepperoni, you're like, where the hell did they find this meat? You know, after 2 hours, you can't eat it anymore because you'll end up in the hospital. But oh my God, there's something about that Little Caesars. Oh, there we go. Look at how high up I am. What a viewpoint. Get a view of parts unknown. So see, there you go. You got the Clackamas Town Center. You got hills way off yonder. The hills way off there, that's like kind of Lake Oswego-y. Like southwest Portland into Lake Oswego, and then kind of into Westland way over there. And way beyond that, on the other side of those hills, way off in the distance, that's kind of where like Tigard is and stuff. Tigard and Beaverton and Tualatin if you go a little further down, but hell, I ain't going anywhere near that mess today. Hey everyone, you're not gonna believe it, but I have a TikTok now. Why did I do this when I'm next to the freeway? Anyway, yeah, see the amateur historian, TikToker now. And on a bit of a side note, right up there by the freeway, I actually just did my very first TikTok video. Yes, I have a TikTok now, but probably not for the same reason that a lot of other people have it. It's just, you know, it's another thing that's really popular right now. And, you know, honestly, I'm just going to use it to, like, post random, goofy, like, it'll be mostly for little comedic bits from my explorations and whatnot. So it's going to be directly related to my channel. And I guess I'll start leaving that in the description with my videos as well. Honestly, I only have it for fun. I'm not trying to become I'm not like trying to shift from YouTube to TikTok or any of that crap. I figure I just use TikTok as a place to post just goofy little moments from my ventures. So it's still gonna be like 100% me. And how I am, what I do. So yeah, I'll leave the link to that in the description of this video, because right now off the top of my head I don't even know what my TikTok is called. I called it the I created it like a month ago, and then it's just been sitting there dormant. So I don't know if I'll call the Amateur Historian, Steve A8, I really don't know. So I'll just leave the link in the description below so you can like know where my TikTok is. I feel like a piece of crap even saying it, but I'm using it for good, not for evil. So I already feel like I'm a better person than most in that regard. Just letting you know. Okay, I'm getting a little bit loopy. Okay, Taco Bell's like 2 blocks away though. I can make it. I'll tell you what though, they better have that damn AC on when I get in there. If there ain't anybody else in there, I may just hang out a while. Actually, I mean, I guess if I'm buying food, I have no choice but to hang out for a while, but I don't know. I don't know about my state of mind's getting real. It's already kind of done with this 80-degree horseshit. Okay. Your move. Ooh. Whoa, bro. A little close. Button your bus up against my crosswalk. Did you see that? Heathens. That was the most ridiculous paranoia moment ever in my life. I look like a damn, what is it? Beaver there at the end. Oh God, I'm getting a headache. I blame you. It was really hot and I got this just for the coldness. It's pretty tasty, but oh Lord, I'm getting a headache. No, it's passing. Oh, okay, it's passing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed my little walkabout, discovering new things, finding new things right over the next bend, get out of my mouth hair, that I didn't know were there. But, ooh, somebody enjoyed one of these drinks too. Apparently there used to be a street here, because this is like a middle lane, but it's just in the parking lot at the mall. I did not never noticed this before. The little things that you find for Mysteries Past. Because yeah, this is like, you know, the solid line with the dotted line. This is like a middle lane. This used to be probably part of the road. I know that this has been all redone not too many years ago. So maybe they just pushed everything out. I don't know. Beep. Anyway. Now that my ponytail has just become completely discombobulated amidst itself. And I'm tired and I'm walking home. I think it's time we called it a day, at least for today's video. But hey, I actually got to see some interesting stuff. I didn't really think I'd see a whole lot up there. Sometimes you just surprise yourself when you go wandering into some place you don't know very well. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Another one of my little therapy walks about town. I'm already questioning whether I'm actually going to do something tomorrow for some kind of other thing. Because then again, I'm just finishing this, but I'm feeling tired right now. So anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. As always, thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting my therapy walks, even though I know a lot of time it's just me blabbering about stuff. But I guess some people enjoy that. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, want to help me grow and blossom, I already mentioned I got a new TikTok. You can't get any more disturbingly hip than that. My Patreon is there. I'm always posting new stuff there. I'm coming up literally with new little things to add there all the time. And I'm organizing it a little bit better. I'm actually like organizing a schedule for when to post Patreon stuff. So it's not so like, hey, I post stuff on Patreon. And then it's kind of like it doesn't happen half the time. So you can stand by it when I say there's gonna be steadily more stuff on my Patreon. The link to my Patreon is in my description with this video if you wanna help join that little venture, and you'll get access to all these other unreleased content you can't find on my regular channel. Kind of little podcast things I do about various things kind of related to what I do on my channel. Also going more in depth into things that I have maybe covered in a video. Lots of extra things that you can only get if you become a Patreon supporter right now. The link to that, again, is in the description with this video, as well as the links to my Instagram, Facebook pages, and I guess my TikTok now. All that said, thank you again for coming out for me on this glorious yet very hot day. Till next time, it's been Steve, the Amateur Historian.